Good morning, it's Bev at Planetcrochet. This morning I'm going to do a video on the waffle stitch. This is a face cloth dishcloth. The waffle stitch is multiples of 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and there's your 2, and there's your 3rd. You have edging, so if you look down, it edges the extra stitches you do. So you will need multiple of 3 for your waffle plus 4, and you'll see why as I go on why you need the 4 extra. I have started a dolly pram blanket. I have crocheted 60 chain plus 4. That will give you 20 waffle across. This is double knit. This face cloth is a cotton mix, so that's why it looks a lot smaller. I use a 4mm hook. The yarn I'm using, which is not sponsored at all on this video, is Stylecraft colour Cloud Blue. I'm using Stylecraft here, but this is like a coral colour. I can't remember the exact name, but it's a coral colour. So yeah, so there's your 3, 2 there, 3, and then you've got the sides. If you've watched any of my previous videos, I like to go up half a hook size for the chains only, and this has stopped me many a time because when I've used it, it's a little bit tight, because I've looked at a pattern recently and it says what hook size to use. Say if it says a 4, and it'll say chain so many loosely. I've tried this in the past and I still try it and I just can't do it. A friend gave me a tip some years ago when I just started. Go up half a hook size, or you can go down a hook size. But for chains, I find if I go up half a hook size, it works out great, because you want your chains evenly on the bottom. Let me find the bottom of this. Now I can't tell you what I did in the bottom of this. I might have done, because I haven't written it down, it's a while ago since I made it. But more than not, I will have gone up half a hook size to do the chains, and then you change it to what the yarn asks you, or the project, to get the gauge right. Now to do this, the gauge isn't necessary, it's just your count. Make sure you've got your count right, especially at the beginning. So you want 3 multiples of 3 plus 4. You can make your project as wide as you like, it's up to you. Like I said, that blue dolly pram, I'm just going to make a few different dolly prams, blankets for my granddaughter in different stitches, just so she's got something to put over a dolly, so she doesn't use the other blankets. But for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller than what I've already started. I'll do this off camera because it is boring, and I'll come back when I've got the right amount of stitches. So remember, it's 3 plus 4. So I've done 13 times 3 plus 4. So I've got 43 chain. Take off the bigger hook and put the one on for your project. Now that's just my personal preference. You don't have to do that. You want to skip 1 chain and do a treble. Now this is UK terminology that I use all the way through the video. It's the same stitch but different terms. So in the UK it is treble, in the US it is double crochet. So you want 1 in the 2nd chain from the hook. So that's yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. As I've said before, if you're unsure where the first stitch is, stitch marker, place it in the top, and then you're going to know where your end is, so you're not going to miss it. And then you want a treble crochet into each of your chains. As I say, for the chains you don't have to use a half hook size bigger. You can use the hook you're going to use all the way through, but you don't want to have this too tight. You don't want it puckering up, so it's just a suggestion and a personal preference of mine. I do it even on garments. I go up half a hook size. So I will go all the way, and when I get to the end, I'll come back. I've gone all the way across. So to go back, another personal preference, some people like to turn, then do your chains. I like to chain, then turn. So you need to do one chain. I do that quite loose. Turn your work, and then you want a treble in the first stitch from the previous row. And again, I'll use a different colour clip today so I can see it. Sorry, stitch marker. You don't have to do this, but it just gives you a marker so you know where your last and first stitches are. Then yarn over. So I meant to say before, if you are new to crochet, you've just come across this video, if you want to learn how to do a treble crochet, UK terminology, I'll put a link below. I do that with most of my videos now, is put links below to do the basics. So if you want to learn to do this treble, there's a link below. So you want one treble, and what you want to do, so here's the next row, so that's the first foundation row, so we're doing this one, and what we want to do is the next treble is around the post. It's around the post of the stitch below. We normally would go, take my hook out, you would normally go into the top of your stitch. Today on this one we're going to go around the post. So you've done the first, you're into the second one, go round the post, and then do your stitch as normal. There you go. And oops, sorry, the next two are in the top of your stitch. So when it said the 4 at the extra, you've got one on this end, one on this end, you've got the chain that you use at the end, and then this first post here, that's the 4th, because if you remember what I said, the waffle is 3 stitches, 2, 3, and then the 4 is the one there, one there, the turning chain, that's 3, and then your first post, because your waffle is 3 stitches, 2, 1. So that's where you might think, why 4 plus 4, 3 plus 4. So the next one, your third one, is around the post again. Yarn over, front to back, around the post, and then finish off your treble. Your next 2 is in the top of your stitches. Oops. And then the 3rd one is around the post. Go to the back, come back out the front, yarn over. It's always a bit fiddly when you start projects, I find. So there you go, you've done 2 waffles. I'll do another one. So it's 2 in the next, 1 in each of the next stitches. So it's 2 in the top of your stitches as normal, and then your 3rd around the post of your 3rd. One, oops, a daisy. One in the next, 1 in the next, in the top, and then the next one is around the post. And then finish your stitch. I'll carry on to the end, and I'll show you near the end how to finish this row off. I'm near the end. I've done the 2 in the top. You want 1 more around the post. 1 treble, that is. And then the last one is in the last stitch. I've took the clip, I keep calling them clips, stitch markers out. And your last one is the edge. There's your waffles. That's your first row. Chain 1 loosely, turn your work, 1 treble in the first stitch as you did the other row, and then if you like, put a stitch marker. You want 1 more treble in the next stitch. So the first 2 are in the top. The next 2 you go around the post. One, 2, and then we're repeating. So it's 1 treble in the top of the stitch, 2 treble over the next 2 stitches around the post, 1 stitch in the top, 2 around the next 2 stitches, and so on. 1 in the top of the next stitch, 2, 1, 2 around the next 2 posts. So if you turn your work round, there you go. So it actually starts forming the waffle. It's a 2-row repeat. The first row of trebles is your foundation, and then it's this one and this one, so that's 2-row repeat. I'll do it one more time. So 1 in the top of your next stitch. The next 2 stitches are around the posts. That's 1, 2. I'll do this rest of it off camera and go to the end, and I'll catch up with you when I get near the stitch marker. I'm at the end. I've done the 2 around the posts, and there's 2 stitches left, and these 2 stitches go in the top of the previous row, in the top of the stitches, and that finishes row 2. As I said, this is a 2-row repeat. So you have your foundation chain, your foundation row, which is just trebles. First row is 2 in the top, 1 in the post. 2 in the top, 1 in the post. The next row is when you've done the beginning, but the repeat is 1 in the top, 2 posts. So that's the back. I'll show you mine. That's the back of the washcloth, that's the back of it. And you turn over, this is the right side. I mean, the back side is pretty nice, sorry about that. But this is the waffle at the front. The edging has got 1 either side. The waffle is the 2 in the top and the 1 there. And you've got it frames the waffle at the side, because if you didn't have that one, it would just be flat. So it's even both sides. So that's why we do 3 times. So just chain 3 however many times you want the width. It's up to you. Do your chain in 3s, see what width you want for what project you're going to do, then add 4. So your 4 added on is the 1 this side, it's this post here, the 1 at the edge, that's 3, and then you remember at the beginning there was a turning chain we left, we didn't use it, and that's what that is. So we put chain 1 on every row, and that'll get you up to a slight height. So you do that all the way up, and then you have you have the edge even. And with this, you can leave it as it is, as I have with this, or you can put an edging on. And what also you can do to finish it, you see how this edging at the bottom has a row of treble. When you get to your desired length, you finish on the wrong side row, so you would finish here. Don't finish, turn it, do your 1 chain, turn round, and instead of doing the pattern to match the bottom, you just need to do a row of treble into the top, and that will finish it off the same as the bottom. I haven't done it on this, I didn't realise. I think I've got a bit of yarn, I could still put one on if I wanted to. And you can put a border on. But because I think the waffle is the pattern itself, you don't want the border, you can put whatever you like on, it is your personal choice. But I have made a baby blanket. I've made a couple of blankets. One was for a young child and the other one's upstairs for a baby. And I did white, I believe it's on my Instagram, with yellow as a neutral one. And what I did for the border is I just kept it plain. I just did double crochet. Now in the description below I do have links for basic stitches. This is a treble, as I've said, and there is a link below for that. There's a link for the double crochet, so you can go and look at that. So if you're new to crochet, you can follow the links. If you found this video, you can follow the links. If you're unsure how to start doing crochet, just click on the links with the basic stitches and just follow the videos. Or if you like, you can do this one. But I suggest doing a basic one first, knowing how to do your chains and get those even. And as I say, when I do chains, going up a half hook size, I think I've just used my other hook, I've put it away. Whatever your project is, just a suggestion, half a hook size bigger. And then the bottom isn't tight, unless you can do it loose. I cannot do it, I have struggled. So, but yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed following along. I will come back at some point. I will finish this off and you keep this as a sampler, and I may try doing different borders on this as well. I've also got this, my granddaughter's baby doll blanket, just something that she can use with the dollies because she's only 2, so I don't want something so big. And as I've said, I don't know if I said it at the beginning, but this is such a dense stitch, you wouldn't need to double the blanket up. So if you're going to do a project, I suggest you measure the size you're wanting at first, because some blankets it's nice to double up and keep baby warm or a child. This one, I'm 100% certain you will not need to do it because it's so thick. And especially if you use, this is cotton, this is double knit. If you use Aran, which is a thicker yarn, that's how we word in the UK. This is double knit. I think that's worsted weight number 3. Aran's 4, so on and so on. So the thicker you go, and the chunky one will be lovely in this. I have done that before as well, and it crochets up pretty quick. But that's it for today. So from me, a monkey at Planet Crochet. Bye for now. See you again.